Positively Healthy was formed over lunch one afternoon in 1986. It was formed as a result of the death of my best friend called David Reichenberg, who was the lead oboe player for the English Concert, who were and are, I believe, England's leading Baroque orchestra. And David died of AIDS. And David was a Nichiren Soshu Buddhist, an American from Iowa. Beautiful, lovely man, beautiful oboe player, and physically stunning, wonderful company. And after he died, I went into shock, and I decided I didn't want to see anyone else die like David died. He died in '86, which is when everyone died, actually. We did the Actors Mastery together, a thing called the AIDS Mastery that Sally Fisher from Los Angeles created for actors to train them how to be fearless. Also, the training later became the samurai training, but the Actors Mastery became the AIDS Mastery, and David and I did it, but David became ill halfway through, didn't complete it, and died shortly afterwards. And I decided, after being with David as he died, I was by his bedside, holding his hand as he died, and the last thing I said to David before he died was, I want to make sure no one ever dies this way again. After David died, I got in touch with Simon Martin, who had founded the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine, and at the time edited Britain's leading health journal called Here's Health. And Dietmar Bolle, an HIV-positive nurse at St. Stephen's Hospital, now Chelsea, Westminster. And we, over lunch at David's flat, which I was helping the family sell and sitting the flat while it was being sold, over lunch we came up with the name Positively Healthy and decided we were going to prevent all the deaths we could. And we have never deviated from that path. Dietmar died a few years later, but Dietmar died of tremendous loneliness. He was very lonely, isolated, approaching 40, that dangerous age. And although he did die of AIDS, it was loneliness that he confessed to me. He said, life isn't worth living. He said, I don't want to carry on. And so a lot of people have come and gone in the charity since then. We've had a lot of attention from the medical community. We've had our first band of trustees were medical doctors. Dr. Simon Mansfield, Dr. Adrian Moss at Chelsea Westminster were two of them, for instance. And a lot of the nurses. I taught for the Royal College of Nursing. I taught the English Nursing Board AIDS Awareness 934 course, and I still do for many years. And our ethos from the beginning was that our charity, Positively Healthy, would pay no salaries, would be run by its service users. No one would be parachuted in to manage the charity. Everyone who managed the charity would come up from the people who'd benefited from the services. And 23 years later, it hasn't changed. The charity is run by its beneficiaries. It's completely not-for-profit. All our funding comes from either other charities or the Primary Care Trust and the National Health Service, or from our local council, which is Richmond Council. And this year, for the first time in many years, we had a fundraising event done for us by the medical students at Imperial College in London. And they raised a substantial amount for us. But everything we raise goes back into service provision. No one makes a living out of this. Every penny we get is plowed back into running the charity. Any gay man who wants can phone us up or email us. In fact, most of our communication is email these days. And we will get back within 24 hours and set up a program for them as to what they want to do. We provide face-to-face, one-to-ones, workshops, and or if we can't provide a direct service, we'll direct them to somewhere where the service can be provided. So no one profits from what we do. And I would love to close a charity down tomorrow. I would love to find there was no longer a need for it. Unfortunately, there still is. I honestly thought in 1986, when we created Positively Healthy, we had maybe a 10-year shelf life, that we'd have sorted out the epidemic by then, and we probably could have. The drugs came in. But I find 23 years later that the need is still there, and there's more people more gay men getting infected, and I find this intolerable and unbelievable.